Okay, hi guys, welcome back to X's and O's, a podcast where we talk about queer relationships and sex. I'm your host, Shannon Beveridge, and happy Pride Month. This is the second episode of Pride. How's your month going? I feel like this month is going by way too fast. It needs to slow down. I want Pride Month all year long. And this year is for the gays, so it does feel that way already. But really though, isn't it going by so fast? What the fuck is going on? I realized like my eggs went bad that I feel like I just bought, but I definitely bought them like 3 weeks ago. But like those 3 weeks, zoom, done. Anyway, so far this Pride, I've been in LA and DC, back in LA, and I will be in New York next week, and then I will be in Toronto. I'll be there for Toronto Pride. And you may have seen me post on here. I talked about it on here, but I also post on Instagram that I have a party I'm doing on June 20th in New York, in Brooklyn. It is a Pride party, and I'm doing it with Gay Joy. The tickets are still available if you are interested in coming, but they are selling. It will sell out, but we started selling them way in advance. So if you haven't gotten one yet, please buy one. I will be there with a bunch of my friends, and it should be really fun. There will be DJs. There will be dancing. I don't know if I'll be partaking in the dancing for your own good. Maybe I shouldn't for everyone else. But I'll probably dance. So you'll want to be there. You don't want to miss that. Doesn't happen that often. Govball looked fucking awesome. And again, the lesbians are winning. Did you see Chapel Rowan? Did you see Renee Rapp? They crushed. It's like everywhere on my For You page. I don't know about y'all, but mine is so gay. So it could be just mine. But I'm assuming y'all's is pretty gay as well. So I wonder if you're seeing it too. I wish I was there, but I wasn't. A little bitter, a little salty. My Friend of Dorothy merch, which I'm wearing today, is still available to buy. I did have more technical difficulties with my website. If you've been paying attention, you would know that. If there is something that can go wrong with technology in me, it does. So it's fine though. It's fine. Everything's good. But if you did buy with PayPal, then there's a chance you need to re-buy whatever you bought because every PayPal order got refunded. Awesome. We didn't even want you guys to have it anyway, so who cares? No, if you did buy with PayPal, you can still buy it now. And we're going to keep it up a little bit longer so those people have a chance to re-buy it. And if you didn't know about it, now you know. And I will, if you're watching, I will have the products to the left or right of me so you can watch, and then that's what's available. But there's sweatshirts, there's crew necks, there's shorts, there's carabiners, there's t-shirts, there's long sleeve shirts, there's everything you can imagine. So if you want to get something, I would check it out because it will be available for pre-sale just a little bit longer. And I hope you guys enjoy this Pride Month. I hope you are taking care of yourselves. I hope you're taking care of your bodies. I also hope you're taking care of each other. Be kind to each other. Look out for each other when you're out there. If you're at parades or you're at parties and they're long, make sure you're helping your friends with water and everything else because, yeah, it is a long and treacherous month. No matter what you're doing, whether you're protesting or you're partying or you're whatever you're doing, it is like event after event after event. So take care of yourself. I know a lot of people are in LA getting what they're calling the gay cough. So take care of your immune system. Take care of your immune system. I did not feel that well earlier in the month. So I too am trying to take care of myself. So let's take care of ourselves and each other. Okay. That's my Pride Month motto. And yeah, look out for me in New York. Look out for me in Toronto. Look out for me in LA. Those are the only 3 places I have planned on being for the next few weeks. Literally, yeah. Wow. It's going to be such a month. I'm so happy. Oh, that reminds me, mental health check-in. My mental health is surprisingly good. I do think I'm going to get my period soon because I did have a moment of wanting to cry in the airport, and then I did cry on the airplane. But like something about the pressure in an airplane, I feel like it's just so easy to cry. Like that just can happen, right? Like I don't even know if I was crying or if I was leaking. Like I couldn't tell if it was like an emotion I was having or if it was literally just the pressure of the plane. But I did have a few tears leak. So if my period doesn't come soon, I'll have to investigate those feelings. But I think otherwise I'm really, really busy right this second. So even if I were to be feeling sad about anything, but I don't think I am, I'm not really thinking that much. I'm literally just going. And I'm so happy to be going. And I'm so stoked with some of the guests I have coming up. Obviously so stoked with some of the guests I've already had. I can't believe every single guest I've had, like every single one. I'm in awe obsessed, love, would hang out with. Again, they're like I really could not have imagined that this podcast would so soon be having guests, like even today's guests, which I can't wait for you to see who they are, but I love them so much. And I got to spend a good portion of like the day before we started filming together. And it's just so nice. It's so nice to get to hang out with gay people. I mean, come on, it's Pride. But honestly, like I'm so lucky to also get to like invite these people into my home and get to know them and them be so open. Like I know I'm like forcing them to get into my bed 5 seconds after meeting me sometimes, but yeah, I think it's a testament to like how easy it is to have a conversation with anyone who's queer, because you have at the end of the day this like tiny little amazing thing about you that's like a through line, and then you can find other ways to connect based off of that. I don't know. I'm just feeling very blessed and happy. So mental health check, I'm good. And I'm looking forward to the rest of this month. I'm looking forward to the content I have and the content I'm making and this podcast and everything else. So, okay. I hope you enjoy this episode. There is extra content on Patreon. We played a game together. There's also extra content on Patreon from every episode before. So if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe. Go to nowthisisliving.com. No, that's a lie. Go to patreon.com/nowthisisliving. Check out my Friend of Dorothy merch. Check out my party in New York if you're going to be in New York on June 20th. And also shout out to Hinge for sponsoring this episode of X's and O's. I love you guys. I'm so stoked to be working with you during Pride Month, when we're all just trying to find love at the end of the day. Thank God that there is Hinge. And thank God they're sponsoring X's and O's. Okay. Bye, y'all. Enjoy the episode. I really, really love these guests so much. Please follow them on all their socials. They are the best ever. They are so cool. Love, love, love. Okay. Could not recommend enough. Mwah. Bye. Okay, hi guys. My name is Shannon Beveridge. I'm the host of X's and O's, a podcast where we talk about queer relationships and sex. And today I am so honored. I have guests all the way from Atlanta. They don't live here, which is so, I'm honored that they came and spent any of their time in LA in my bed. But Victoria and Lindsay, soon to be wives and content creators. You may recognize them from TikTok. They're awesome. And I'm so happy you're here.
We're happy to be here.
Yay.
Very happy, very nervous.
Happy. Okay. I'm so stoked. We have been hanging out now for like 2 hours.
Yeah, like,
just
but
chilling.
I was like happy that we were hanging out, and then I just got nervous. So.
No, you did. Don't be nervous.
Bed, like
the bed. I heard the bed makes people less nervous.
No, it's good.
I kind of feel like I've never been in anyone else's beds in the last 6 years. So
That
it's like,
does make
what's going on?
Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Good
I
job.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Wasn't hard.
Think of it more like a futon, like a couch.
Okay.
Okay, like we're just chilling.
Yeah, this is normal. This is normal. This is the first time they've ever been on a podcast. I'm so honored that you chose mine. I mean, I kind of like made you do it, but
No, you did not make us.
I am honored.
Yeah. I literally have been following you since Tumblr.
No way.
I watched you come out to your like friends and everything like online.
That's
like,
fucking
you, like, post.
crazy.
Yeah. So.
And now we're hanging out. That's fucking awesome.
It's actually wild.
That's so crazy. Also so crazy because you guys are creating so much representation for other people now too. So
yeah,
it is nice when something happens. It almost feels like, do you remember I had a company called Ripple Effect?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a ripple effect. It's like,
yeah.
And now you're doing it and then you guys will impact people and they'll do it. It's like really crazy.
Yeah. I think it's still like surreal to like think that we are the people that we like looked up to and stuff, but that kind of like keeps me going because like the internet is like crazy and it can be overwhelming at times.
Totally.
But, like when you realize that, you know, you are actually impacting people and doing it for a good reason, then it like helps.
I mean, like, why else would you do it? When I think about some people that are like content creators, I'm like, I would not be able to do this if I didn't feel like something positive was coming from it. Like some people are just so down to entertain, which is awesome.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
I love to talk, entertain, and I'm a creative when it comes to videos.
Yeah.
Like I was making videos before TikTok.
Yeah, what were you making them on?
Just like for like if we went on vacation with my family, I would like put a video together and put music on and send it to everybody. Like, look at what I made and please enjoy it.
Yeah,
so cute.
On like iMovie, or is it iMovie?
Yeah,
on,
iMovie.
Like, the phone. When we first started dating, I always bring this up because it was so cute. It was like Mother's Day, and she was at the apartment. I was like at work, and she took our dog now, Bryson, for a
Her
walk.
dog at the time.
Yeah, and she just like filmed clips of him, and she put it together like a montage, and she was like, "Happy Mother's Day" from Bryson.
That's
like,
so fucking
it's
cute.
Doing
like-
Adele's song too.
yeah, it was
That's
sweet.
so sweet. So it came natural to you, or like you like it enough that you wanted to do it. And then
Oh yeah. And then when it came to that video, it was also me kind of trying to score some brownie points with Lindsay. Like, hey, look at me, this
I'm walking
cute
your
girl that
dog.
also likes your dog, and I think he likes me.
She barely liked him at that point, though. I'm not gonna lie.
like, I love this little dog.
I liked him, but
Yeah, you
was
also
a
like
little bit
didn't
of a
pet the
riot.
dogs here today.
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
so I see
that's
that
how
I
it
am
is.
not
Uh-huh.
a dog petter.
Yes.
Like, I pet our dog. The only way I can pet him is if I have just worked out, ran a ton of errands, and I'm about to get in the shower. I will sit and literally put on a timer and be like, look at you. You're about to get petted for 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
so funny.
But what he really loves is us throwing the ball. So I'll throw it for like an hour. Like,
You connect with him in other ways.
Yes.
Well,
just
now
yes.
she's like, you love him now.
that's my boy. I don't play
And
about
I
him.
love when, like, today at lunch we were talking for like 20 minutes about Bryson. And
We miss
just,
him.
like, and I was just
So
thinking,
cute.
oh my God, like, you really love him now. Yeah.
And it was your dog first.
Yeah.
For how long? How old is the dog?
Because
Because you guys have been together for 6 years.
Yeah, he's an old man. He's like 8 now. So
Mhm.
I had him for like 2 years in
Yeah.
college before her. But yeah.
That's so cute.
He's sweet.
You had a dog in college? That's brave.
Well,
way.
I know. It was stupid too. It was like one of those things where I just like wanted a dog so bad and it just like kept building up. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go get one. Even though I was in an apartment that didn't allow dogs. I had no money.
You had
You
no
found him on-
business having
I
a
had
dog.
no
You had no
business having
business
a
having a dog.
dog, but
You're
he
like,
found him on
was so cute.
Craigslist.
I found him on Craigslist. But he was just so cute. So, yeah. And then he
That's
got
so
kicked out of the
sweet.
apartment that I was in.
oh, God. Okay, poor guy. But you guys now are mothers.
Yeah. And I'm like the top A mom, like the one that he listens to.
Yeah.
That kind of checks out.
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that. I know we've only known each other for 2 hours, but I can see that being the case. Okay, so you guys are engaged. Can I see your rings?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I was looking earlier, but I was like, I'm gonna wait till we're on the pod. Gorgeous!
Yes.
They're so sparkly.
I love it. Like, we literally... You like yours still, right?
I love it.
I was going to say, we love ours.
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
let me check in.
You like yours?
I love
I
mine.
was like, I'm not gonna speak for my fiance.
Yeah.
How did you guys propose? Like, what was the story? Y'all, today's episode is sponsored by Hinge, which is awesome. I love Hinge. Thank you so much for sponsoring X's and O's. Hinge just released its 2024 date report where they essentially interview 14,000 of their queer daters on the app and pool together all the data for you so you can understand what queer people are looking for in dating in 2024. It's actually extremely insightful, and if you are looking to date or if you're just interested in dating as a concept as a queer person, I highly recommend you read it. It's very, very interesting. Things are changing for us, okay? I know lesbians are known for a U-Haul, but in 2024, we're actually opting for a slowmance. I love that word, slowmance. A slowmance is dating someone more consciously by slowing down the pace, putting clear boundaries up, and setting intentions. Listen, lesbians. Slowmance. It's time for a slowmance. According to the report, one way to create a soft start is to use humor. 64% of LGBTQIA+ daters on Hinge said that sense of humor on someone's profile is the number one reason why they would be interested in you. So definitely make sure when you're making your Hinge profile, you are adding in a little bit of humor. Add a little spice. Hinge asked me to be a part of the date report, so you can also see my quote in there. I talked about a soft start, so yeah, check it out. The link to read the whole date report is in my bio. Check it out. Check it out. Did you propose? Did you
I
both?
feel like you should go first since you proposed first.
Okay, yeah. So I proposed first. It was our 4-year anniversary, and we went to Cabo.
Cute.
Yeah. So I was like,
Cute.
and we always
romantic.
yeah, it's
I
fun.
love Cabo.
It was so beautiful, literally so beautiful.
It felt like we were in a movie.
Yeah.
Like the entire time, I was like, I feel like I am Julia Roberts in Eat, Pray, Love, Pretty Woman, anything that she felt like a bad bitch.
Yeah. I'm dead at I felt like Julia Roberts
I did.
in Cabo.
That's
She
like my inner
loves,
bad
like-
bitch. My inner bad bitch is a rom-com
Yeah.
main character.
Okay, fair. I see
Yeah,
that.
that's like her thing. So, I knew I had to go big for my girl, so I went big. But we went to a restaurant in Cabo. It was our anniversary. Did I say that?
Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll take care of our anniversary this year. Like, don't even worry about it. So it was like a restaurant and it overlooked like the sunset. And yeah, after the sunset, they hit like this bong or whatever. And I did it.
Did you get
I love how she
that,
skips
how I, like-
because the way that she tells stories is she goes, it always reminds me of how like my brother or my dad tells a story, like no important details. It's just boom, boom, boom.
And this
I mean,
happened,
yeah,
and this
and then I
happened, and this
did it.
happened. Did you get down on one knee?
Yeah, I did.
That's so cute.
I did practice my kneel too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I told you that, right?
No.
I did, because I didn't want to be like,
Yeah.
You know?
Do you ever see like the guys who do it and they have like
Yeah.
bad posture?
Yeah.
And
and
they're
so,
You couldn't be that. You had
Oh,
to,
no,
You needed to
baby,
look
no.
good. Okay, what did you say? Did you have a speech? Like, did you prepare something or did you like black out?
oh, I blacked out.
I feel like I'm gonna black out. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be like,
When
and I love you
like,
so much.
Yeah, when I like came out as a lesbian, one of like the second thing I thought about was, holy shit, I'm gonna have to propose to someone one day. Like, holy shit. So I knew I was gonna black out, but I did prepare and I like practiced it, and but I don't know what actually ended up coming out of my mouth. But,
Fair.
But I did have a speech, like, because that's another thing I hate, because I talk about this all the time. Like, you see proposal videos and they just like,
Like, and let's do this.
they just like are looking at the girls like.
They just
You
kneel.
didn't
Yeah,
say
like-
anything, like, yeah, and they're like, so
You're
what's
like,
the answer?
so?
It's like,
Yeah.
what's
So?
the question?
Yes or no? Wait, did you cry? Either of you?
Did I cry?
You cried, yeah.
Yeah, I cried. I think I cried.
And you cried that morning in the shower, and I didn't know you were gonna propose. And we were like showering together that morning, and I was like, she just started crying in the shower, and that's never happened before.
Were you like emotional thinking?
I was like,
this is literally going to be like
overwhelmed.
my wife.
Yeah, like it was.
So fucking
And I
cute.
was like, why are you crying?
But I played it
Tori's
off
like,
because
relax.
It was our
like-
anniversary.
It was our anniversary. I was like, I'm just so happy.
And then I cried in the shower because
Aw.
of like we were crying. It
Yeah.
was I love crying in the shower. It's dramatic. I like it.
She's like, I was Julia Roberts again in the shower.
Yes.
Did you think she was going to propose? Did you have like an
No.
idea?
So initially, she kind of had broke down this timeline for like months before that day. She was like, or we were both just agreeing we want to get a house first. We want to make sure like we're in a good place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where my head was. And it was so far up this dream that she sold me that
And did you do that on purpose?
Yeah.
To like
Yeah, I didn't want her
yeah.
to know at all. Like, I knew it wasn't like a complete surprise because I knew we were both ready.
Yeah, you knew
but-
you talked obviously that
Oh,
you wanted
yeah.
to get married one
Yes.
day. Yeah.
And she would always be like, you should just like I knew you wanted it sooner than what I was saying.
because also the reason the other part is I knew that I wanted to marry Lindsay the first day that we met. So I wanted to propose.
Aww.
So
Oh yeah, I was like, no, I'm gonna do it first though. Let me do it.
So she like made me promise, let me propose to you first. So I was like itching, like my hands were just like, I'm ready to propose. Like I hope she's gonna propose sometime soon because I'm about to do it.
Ready to go.
But I was like respecting her wishes and wasn't. So I was like, okay, it's not gonna happen until after we get a house.
Yeah.
Aww.
So yeah, I surprised. Like I wanted it to be like a big
Yeah,
surprise.
I agree. I feel like I would hate it if they knew.
Yeah.
If they knew. If she knew. You never know.
Come
You
in, come
never
out
know.
again. Yeah.
Maybe I'm bi. I don't know. It could be. Okay, so did you have a ring already for Lindsay when Lindsay proposed?
No. I was completely just
You were not. You were
respecting
literally
her
thinking. Yeah,
wishes.
yeah.
So I didn't know what the timeline was. So I was just waiting.
Do you remember what she said?
No.
You blacked out too. We're all blacking out.
Yeah,
Everyone's blacking out.
I was like, okay, so from my point of view, walking into the restaurant, I have to backtrack to the biggest part of the surprise that
She
blows
loves
my
talking about
mind.
this.
Because it blows my mind. It felt so, I can't believe you did it. So, my makeup artist, so I had shoulder surgery. So that's why I get my makeup done because I had shoulder surgery.
Is it from
and now-
tennis? Like a tennis injury or?
From her dad, really. Golfing with him.
Shut up.
We're like, me and her dad are besties, and unfortunately that entails golfing.
Unfortunately.
Which I
Unfortunately.
loved golfing until one afternoon I realized my shoulder was hurting.
Well, you go out with Mr. Bennie and he's drilling it in you. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta go for hours.
And you're an athlete, so I'm sure
Exactly.
it's like
Yeah,
He
natural
like
to you.
loves it, like going
Yeah.
out.
Knowing that I'm an athlete, he eats into it. Like he is like okay, I would go and like play tennis at her parents like in their community, and he would come and stand to the gate with his arms folded, and people would walk by and be like, oh my gosh, she's good. And he's like, yeah, I'm just coaching her. Like, he loves it. He's like, yeah,
my prodigy.
D1. And so when we get to the golf, he's like, you're so good. And anyways, one afternoon, I'm just hitting. And he's like teaching me how to, the technique. And next thing you know, I'm like, man, my shoulder really hurts. And he's an ortho PA, by the way.
Oh, gosh.
And he's like, you're fine, which is how most PAs and doctors are when it's them.
Yeah,
You're fine.
Oh, yeah. My mom's a nurse. She's like, you're going to school.
You get it.
Unless you're throwing up or you have a fever, you're going to school. I'm like, have you heard of strep? Have you heard of
any other?
There's other things that could be wrong with me. She's like, no, you're good. Go to school.
So, fast forward, I'm getting my makeup done, and my makeup artist.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
No, I was gonna say because you got shoulder surgery after that day, and now you can't do like
I can't
things.
Yeah, the mechanics. You don't realize how much you should be grateful for just your body and health until you realize something as little as holding my phone or holding this mic that I'm leaning against my leg.
Really?
Could like completely irritate it for the next few weeks.
Oh my gosh.
But
okay, I got to get a stand, by the way, just for you. Next time, if you come back,
Shannon.
next time, do you want me to hold it for you?
No.
I can do it.
But fast forward to me getting my makeup done. My makeup artist is talking to me, and she's like, "Oh, what do you plan this summer or this year for trips?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're going to Cabo for our anniversary." And she was like, "Wow, okay, I'm gonna be in Cabo. When are you going?" And I was like, "Till the weekend." She proceeds to be like, "Oh shit, me too." And I'm like, "Oh, what?" She does celebrity makeup, like reality TV, and they're always traveling. So she just came from a trip, so it was really believable.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, if you can do my makeup on our anniversary, like my mind, I was immediately like, oh my god, if I can convince her to do my makeup for our anniversary, I can look like a bad bitch and not like a little egg.
You literally never.
Yeah, I cannot picture you looking like an egg.
She doesn't.
So she was like, I'll see if I have time, literally. And I was like, okay. I went home, was so excited to tell Lindsay, I'm like, she's going to be in Mexico. She might be able to do my makeup that day. Texted her, we like throughout for months. This is months. Like to this day, I tell my makeup artist, I'm like, you like lying too much.
You're shady.
Like,
yeah, like red flag.
You like to lie.
You were too good at that.
Yeah, like you did unnecessary lies. You like to lie.
She literally could have left it at that
really
and then
did.
been like, I'll let you know. She's
imagine another like a few months later before like we're like a month before we're gonna go. I'm like, oh, when's your flight? She's on the same exact flight, so I'm like, oh, okay. Still not even nothing's clicking for me.
Yeah. I feel like I would also be like, yeah,
cool,
great,
yeah.
that's awesome.
And she's still
life is good.
Just riding this tale of like, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to squeeze you in because the set like they get really crazy and I have to be there all day. And I just kind of was just like, okay, if you can, you can. If not, like it'll be fine. Like we'll just have a nice dinner. And Lindsay actually asked me, do you think she could do my makeup? I looked at her. I was like, she cannot do that.
She is busy.
I was like,
She barely can do my makeup. She can fucking do your makeup.
And we're friends too, so I never want her to feel like I'm taking advantage. Like we started off business, and now we're actually like friends. So I was like, I do not want her to think I'm taking advantage of her and asking. I'm not gonna ask her to do this.
I was
She's
like,
time.
okay, all right, okay, no.
And I'm not knowing she needs it for her to propose. So I was like, no, flat no. So yeah, after she proposed, that was one of the things that still hadn't clicked. Like my makeup artist actually walked over and she was like, I said, oh my god, Lindsay told you that she was proposing and you came from set to say congrats. And she was like, Lindsay flew me out. I said,
that's literally,
you flew her out?
That's the nicest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, okay, you know, like, well, now you know. I knew you had to get your makeup done for the proposal, and she's very like specific about what she likes.
Yeah,
so
but that's
I wasn't gonna find a random
thoughtful.
one.
It was really thoughtful.
That's so thoughtful.
Like other than me being a prima donna and needing to have my makeup done, it was really thoughtful.
No, but that's literally like.
But I always knew when I was proposed to, I was hoping to look good.
Yeah, of course. But like such a kind gesture for you to even think about, and also you clearly thought about it months in advance.
I thought about it, and all I told Ashley was just when you guys are doing her makeup, she's gonna say she's going to Mexico, act like you're going at the same time, and I know she's gonna ask you, so you don't even have to like offer or anything.
Okay, like, you're a genius.
I know. And so I was there when she was getting her makeup done, when it was like all playing out, and she was like, I'm gonna be in Mexico too. And then the next question is, oh my god, please do my makeup.
Begging.
And
I was begging. Perfect.
And I didn't say a single word to her.
Okay.
The rest of the time.
And
everyone
she didn't agree
pay
to
attention to this. Do this. This is amazing.
You just gotta know. Yeah, I just knew that you would want that. So
yeah, but also like I feel like what a good sign of like going into your lifelong partner knowing that she thinks about you like that. I would be like, enough for me to be like, obviously, yes, I want to marry you. She's
God.
like, I wanted to marry you the day I met you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have to do it.
You could have not done that. You didn't even have to do that, by the way. She was going to say yes no matter what.
I was.
No, that's amazing. How did you ask?
What?
Go. I'm just excited.
She's like, please tell.
So when I proposed to her, I knew we're complete opposites in everything. So the proposals are also the same thing. Like she would never have wanted a public proposal. Me, I don't mind.
Yeah.
She could have done it in a concert, a crowd. Like I would have been just like, "Oh, look at me, y'all! Look at my ring."
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
You're like, you knew.
After she was like, I'm getting engaged. I scream.
I've always wanted to have one of those moments.
Yeah.
That's like a movie moment.
Yeah, you are in a rom-com. And I'm happy to, I'm like a co-star right now. Right now, I'm in a rom-com too. Fuck yeah. Thanks for having me.
Facts.
Thank
This
you.
is literally her life. She's like, this is so romantic. It's like a movie. Like, I know.
It like
baby.
is.
I know.
If we have like breakfast and the
You
sun
can-
hits just right, I'm like, wow, this feels like we're having breakfast like they do in the movies.
That's so cute. That's a good outlook to have on
yeah,
life.
she
though,
really
'cause
like
then you
romanticizes
really,
life like a lot. So
Well, I grew
love
up in the
that.
projects, so when things look how I only thought would happen in movies, I'm
movies.
like, wow, like this is life right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
That's
I like it.
what a positive.
I romanticize everything.
Yeah.
It really makes me like appreciate the small things that I forget to like
Yeah,
appreciate
totally.
too a lot. But
You're very humble.
You guys, I think they're in love with each other. What do you think? What do you think?
Okay, but okay. So I knew she didn't want it to be public. I knew that she wanted it to be intimate, and I also really wanted it to be something where I could include her brother who passed. So I was like thinking. I just remember being like, how the fuck am I gonna do that? And I started to thinking about things that I thought that we really mattered to us as a couple, which were movies. We watch them all the time, and we love the scenes where they're like the montages of how they fell in love and how quick it happened, and you just kind of see these clips, and all of a sudden it's like a year later, and you just saw them buy a house, get a dog, and all these things. I was like, that would be really cool if I could do that. So I found an animator. I was like looking through Instagram and TikTok and just finding somewhere, and we spent 4 months working on the animation.
What?
yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna cry. Continue, please.
don't cry.
And
I'm like, oh my god, love is really, really real. Really real. Got
during
it.
those 4 months, the hardest part was just every time I got an update, it was me literally wanting to be like, look at this.
Yeah.
But I can't show you. Like, that's the hardest part.
Yeah, it's hard to keep a secret from your person too.
Oh
Extremely.
my god, it's so hard.
I'm terrible. Like if I buy someone flowers, I'm like, so I got you. I'm like, why the fuck?
Yeah, just give her the
I'm like, I should have just given them.
yeah.
I'm like, by the way, I got you flower. Why the fuck did I just tell you that? I could have given them to
Yeah.
you, but I like get so excited.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's so hard.
I did this cool thing, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you
Hey, look at
idiot,
me,
you
I'm
idiot.
nice.
Yeah, I'm just like, I gotta share this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. 4 months is a long time. Also,
It is a long time. Initially, like the first drafts, I remember being like, this don't look like what I'm paying you. What is this? Like, I was so nervous when I got the first draft. It literally looked like stick figures.
like storyboarding,
Yes.
probably, right? I can imagine.
I didn't know the process though, so I just remember being like, okay, let me trust the process. And that's what I did. I didn't say anything. I was just like, okay, let me know when the next one's coming. Once it was done, I had also planned in advance. I talked with Lindsay and I was like, we had just bought our house, but we hadn't moved in. So I was like, oh, we should do a photo shoot at our house.
Cute.
And
Again, I didn't
Smart.
think anything.
Yeah, it's easy when we live like this lifestyle though too. I feel there are like weird things that another
People
person would be like,
yes.
why the fuck would we do a photo shoot? And you're like, for Instagram.
Yeah.
That's for Instagram, obviously. You could
well,
get
they
away
were
with
like to put up in the house too because
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
empty.
No, true.
It was empty.
But like I was like actually really excited. You know, she usually suggests the photo shoots, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But the one that you suggested for our like empty house was like cute. Like she was like, we'll get dressed up, but it'll be like in our empty house and whatever. Like the
you weren't
vibes.
suspicious
I was like,
about this.
no,
well, you know what
I was
too?
like,
You guys are so cute.
You know what I think she
flying
forgets
blind.
actually? I didn't start with that idea. I started somewhere else to push you towards that idea.
oh really?
Yeah, so I started being like, oh, we should do one of those shoots where they wear like overalls as if they just like I don't know, like
Moved in.
people act
Yeah,
like they
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Painted-
yeah.
Painted the walls.
Yeah.
And you were like, ugh, no, which I knew you were gonna say, and so I was like, well, what else are we gonna do? Like, I don't know. And I like the next day, I like came over with some Pinterest examples of like,
ew, no.
yeah,
See, I'm like, I don't like that.
you're like overalls, and I was like, it could be cute, knowing she would say no, and she would never wear anything like that. And then the next day, I showed her examples of like the hotel style photo shoots where they're like in the hallway and they have the wine and they're like running through the halls. And I was like, imagine this in our house.
Cute.
And then she went, yeah, I would do that.
You guys are sneaky, both of you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
You're very thoughtful,
yeah.
which is amazing.
So we were doing the photo shoot, and then it was like projected in the middle of the photo shoot. They were like, let's get one where you like turn around and jump in each other's arms or something. And then as I was turned around, they were like projecting it.
The animation.
Yeah, the animation on the wall. And I still didn't know because like, you know,
We were,
like,
we were watching a movie.
I was, you know,
Like,
I was like,
I'm
what
in a
is
movie.
this?
I'm watching a movie.
This is my life.
Yeah.
So the whole time I'm thinking like it's like a movie of our life, and then I was like, maybe she's just doing something sweet, and then at the very end, the little person in the animation
The little person.
got down on one knee, and I was like, holy shit, it was amazing.
How did you incorporate your brother into it?
He was like in one of the scenes, like, so it was like her meeting my family, and he like was in there, and we were all like cheersing. Yeah, it was.
And
it
it
was
said like,
beautiful.
I will always love you.
Yeah,
on his,
it
on
was
his shirt.
amazing.
Okay, I am actually tearing up. That's really sweet.
It was, yeah. It was
That's so
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah,
And I got him,
definitely
like-
cried.
Yeah.
I almost like I had to stop myself from like going over the edge when you proposed to me because I was about to like just start bawling, and I was like, okay, just relax, like calm down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I would definitely. I mean, I'm crying from just hearing it.
And I was like happy with the end because I had gotten it fully approved by her mom.
Yeah,
I like the image of him because I wanted her to feel like it was
she could like recognize it immediately.
like initially her
yeah.
mom was
Oh,
like,
I knew right
no,
away. I was
like
like-
it was things that she was like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
That's
And
so
she'll let
sweet.
you know, for sure.
So you
But
guys
it
are
worked
both
out.
like super family oriented people. It seems like just from even hanging out with you this much, like you both talked about your family a lot. I feel
Oh yeah,
We love
that's
him.
nice.
Yeah.
And your family's in Miami, and your family's in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Are they
yes.
close by to y'all?
Well, I mean, it's like an hour away.
Okay.
It feels like a lot.
Feels like a long
Yeah,
time.
it feels like
Yeah.
a lot because when she first moved in, like when we stopped being long distance, we were living with my parents.
Got it.
For a year.
For a year, like that was amazing. Like we were able to save a bunch of money, and then we got our first apartment together, which was like 30 minutes from them. But then when we bought our house, it's like an hour. So
now you guys probably feel so far,
It
especially when
feels
you go
far.
from in the house.
yeah, exactly.
to 30 to an hour.
It feels far, but it's like not too bad.
Yeah. Well, that'll be nice when you guys. Wait. When is your wedding date? October this year, and it will be your 6-year anniversary. That's so sweet. So sweet.
I don't know how we managed to do that.
Does it fall on a weekend?
Yeah.
A Saturday.
What the hell?
I know.
What
It was
are the
wild.
odds?
We were like, okay,
It's
I guess
literally
we'll
a
do it then.
Saturday.
Yeah, that's meant to be.
I know.
That's
excited.
awesome. You guys, I heard a story. I watched some of your YouTube videos. So you met kind of on Twitter.
Yes.
Literally
Like
on Twitter.
that's crazy. I don't like that's not happening all the
crazy.
time.
It makes it sound old because it's not even called Twitter anymore.
Now it's
X.
X.
Yeah.
I can't even.
So you guys
log
met on
in.
X. I'm
It
never
sounds
gonna
like
call it
like a
X.
porno.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody saying.
no one's
X.
calling it X.
I don't think
It's not.
so.
What is it? It's just not.
It didn't. What did I say in Mean Girls?
That's what I was
Yes,
trying to
I
say.
know,
I couldn't get it.
You're not gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
You're
X
never
is
gonna
not
make it.
happening.
No, we're not gonna do that.
But
That's-
yeah, we
that's
did.
crazy.
So Victoria's actually been like low key, whatever you want to say, viral.
Like
on
if
Twitter.
you've been like
Like Twitter
influencing
stuff.
Yeah,
for a
like-
while.
Twitter stuff is so different though.
It was like Twitter,
you know, like
It's different,
tweets.
but I feel like if you get the internet, you get the internet, and it seems
Okay.
like you obviously are with it, right?
Yes.
You're.
I guess.
Yeah.
I like that take though because
I
it is
do.
similar. It's like
it is.
still like
No, you
just
have to.
understanding
You
the
have to
internet.
get it. Like you have to get. There's something to get there.
Yeah.
Shannon, that is literally how I like explain you is like just marketing and like your business and content creation. Like you have to understand the internet. And once you understand the internet, you can do so much.
Totally.
you know?
But
Like,
it's not something. I don't think like you could teach a course on it at the
Yeah.
same time. I mean, I know people do, but there is also just like a
You just
a
gotta
certain an X factor.
I always say it should feel easy. An X factor. I always tell people it should be easy. Like if anybody asks about it, I'm like, if you have to like sit and take like a whole day to figure out an idea, like it's too hard. Like do what you're already doing. Like it should be easy.
Yeah. I mean, the best content creators, I think, are making really natural content. The problem is not everyone naturally has something to share or say like that.
Yeah.
That's like something that's digestible.
Yeah.
So you're unique.
Yeah. So she was like, you know, being relatable, #relatable on Twitter a long time ago. So one of her stories like went viral, like the threads went viral, and you had a picture of yourself within the thread, and I was like, oh, like she's cute or whatever. So I followed you, but then later she tweeted something about not wanting a crusty man to take her on a date for Valentine's Day, like basically asking like, can a woman please ask me out?
It was a little gay.
Yeah.
It was a little gay.
It was gay.
It was gay baiting.
It was a little gay.
Just gay baiting. I was kind of like throwing it out just to see the waters, what it was hidden like.
You're like, who follows
And
me?
Yeah.
Any gays out there?
And that's exactly it though, because Twitter was that place where I could try to start being a little bit gay. Like I still couldn't be gay on Instagram or Facebook, not comfortably.
Well, because you probably had friends and family, really friends and family following you on there.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different vibe.
And like Twitter is like kind of crazy. So you can
just say something like one off. It's not
And
like
people don't
I didn't
take it
grid post
seriously.
that. And
Exactly.
I'm assuming you guys I guess Instagram stories were around when you guys started dating. What were they?
We were on Snapchat still.
God,
I don't even know when did
Because we were snapping each
I
other.
don't know if we sound
like
old or young right now.
No, I think we're old.
We're old. We're
How old
30.
are you?
I'm 32.
We're 30.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we're 30.
Yeah.
We just
I'm
turned
older.
30, so
About 2 years.
an older woman.
If we would have went to high
Yes.
school together, we're the same age.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm a cougar with you guys right now. That's crazy though.
But so then I took the bait.
Yeah.
It
You're
was
like,
easy
I can
getting
take you on
yeah,
that date.
I literally said that.
Yeah, so she had slid in that first time during that tweet about Valentine's Day, and then it just kind of fizzled out. It was more like, I was just like, oh, okay, where do you live? She said Atlanta. I was like, okay.
Well,
We stopped talking.
that's not gonna work.
I'm not going there.
Okay, like, what they got to do with me?
Yeah.
And so, maybe a month later or a few weeks later.
Probably like.
Oh, no, that was February. That was a couple months.
couple months.
A couple months go by, and I do another. Oh, man, I was really gay. I just
You were
couldn't
just,
be
like,
gay.
queer
I was
baiting
so
again?
gay. Queer baiting.
Yeah. You're like,
She was gay. See, when we were
Well,
talking
she's
earlier,
definitely
when she
gay.
was, yeah.
there's something gay happening here for sure. Let's be
Yeah.
clear.
Did it again, and she DM'd me then too.
Yeah.
Except I straight up gave you my number that time.
That's so cute. And then now, 6 years later, almost. That's insane, y'all.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Did-
insane.
Crazy.
It's crazy because, okay, so the people I was telling you guys, Raven, Simone, and her wife are the people I had last, Miranda. And they were talking to me. Basically, Raven was saying that she originally broke up with Miranda because Miranda was white. That was one of the reasons. Not the only reason, but one of the reasons. Because she was, like, nervous about the, like, response from the Black community from dating Miranda. Do you guys what's your experience with that?
What's your experience, baby?
Okay, so I would say
It's kind
for
of a
me-
huge switch, by the way. Sorry, but
It is a
Little
really big
segue.
switch.
it's a huge switch. But I'm just
No,
thinking
that's
about it
great,
because I'm
yeah.
like,
No,
it's
that's-
interesting.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
what a
week.
segue.
No segue at all.
For me, I think it was also I wasn't out, or so it wasn't just white. It was white and a woman. So it was like a really big like
The whole
what's going
homicide.
on?
Yeah.
Yeah, like even if they were ready to accept a white man, they now have to accept a white person and woman. So I was very nervous about that. My family immediately took her in. Took my dad a while to really figure out which white name her name was.
He would call me any name but Lindsay.
But it was all in good. Like he's just a little
silly.
all over the place. Yeah. He'd be like, "Hey, tell Sally I said what's up." I'm like, "Who is that?" He's like, "Your girl, Heidi's the top.
Nicole, whatever. Anything.
Nicole's your middle name. He wasn't wrong."
Nicole's my middle name.
Really?
White
Wow,
girls.
exactly. Like, gosh, come on.
Can't beat those allegations.
I think my grandparents I was probably most nervous about. My grandma loves her though, so that worked out. And my friends, oh my God, they love Lindsay down. Oh my God. Like, they don't play about Lindsay. They would go to war for Lindsay. So I think also Lindsay's very easy to love. So I was never really worried about her being white or even a woman. because the way that she is and how she carries herself and this softness and this warmness that everybody feels, I kind of knew like they were gonna feel that.
Yeah.
And immediately they did, all of them immediately. And I have 8 siblings, and they all.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
well,
gosh.
I remember she was like freaking me out because you were like saying, I think you were trying to prep me. Yeah,
My
you were
mom.
just in case.
My mom is
what
very
could
honest.
happen. Yeah.
I love you, but my mom is
I
a
don't
tough
think it
cookie.
Do you think it had anything to do with me being white?
No, it had to do with me and my mom's relationship. Like, just from like when I was a teenager until I was older, it was more so, I don't know what type of mood she's going to be in. I don't know how this is going to go. And it was so crazy because Lindsay becoming close with my mom actually helped us get closer.
I think that like kind of happens sometimes for a lot of people, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, our relationship did not. Me and my mom's relationship was always kind of up and down. And when Lindsay came in, she helped stabilize it because my mom adores her. Like, she'll text her more than she'll text me. She's like, how's Lindsay doing? What's Lindsay up to? Let me call Lindsay. Like,
that's so
they
nice.
have a really good bond.
Look at you. Good job. Good
And she don't play about her
No, but
either.
I was like scared as fuck. Like the first
I was
time.
nervous too for my mom. My mom is. Yeah, I was
nervous.
nervous.
Like, like especially going in, just like knowing how you guys were a little bit on the rocks or whatever, and it's like, well, what am I? Like how is it all gonna work? But
yeah, like where do I fit in that?
Yeah, just like fitting in with another family in general, like, but yeah.
No, like, it's to the point where last year my mom asked us to host Thanksgiving, which is like
Unheard
for
of.
her to decide not to cook and to trust us in
I
it.
cooked. I was scared for that.
And she,
And I was scared for that too.
woo.
she sent us
That was-
every single recipe. So we made the mac and cheese, the jerk salmon. Like, our menu was extensive because she also sent us exactly what she wanted. It was a little overwhelming because like,
like, did I really cook? I just like,
why are
read
we
it.
making jerk salmon? Like,
It's so good.
seafood rice.
You had to.
Yeah,
A lot. It was really good though.
That's awesome. It's nice that seems like both of your families also like each other, which is great. Right?
Yeah.
Do your families ever hang out with like your families, like your parents with each other?
like separately?
No, like with y'all.
Yeah, definitely.
We just went to Miami with our moms.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
Wedding
Because I
planning
feel like it's weird as an adult, especially like I live in LA. Most people I've dated, my parents aren't here, and their
Yeah.
parents aren't here. So I don't think in my last relationship our parents even ever met each other.
Yeah.
But just because, well, it's also COVID, so we started dating in 2020, so it's
Yeah.
a different time. But it is crazy if you can have that connection with them because. Obviously, ideally, that's what you want, especially if you guys want to have kids, which you guys want to have kids?
Yeah,
We're ready.
do. Yeah,
we don't
we're
want
ready.
to. We about to. We ready.
You're obviously going to get married
Oh yeah.
first.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Because you don't.
Taking the traditional route.
Well,
yeah,
you're also like both fit as fuck and getting fit for your wedding. I feel like, right? I feel like I
Yeah.
see your content. And you're like 4 months of the
Yeah,
wedding.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. It's definitely a goal to be fit for the wedding.
Yeah.
But we actually like started getting fit like 2 years ago. We did like the 75, not hard, soft challenge. So
75
Yeah.
soft.
we like amended the
We
rules
really,
a little bit.
really
You know what I'm
modified
saying? But we've been doing that, and we're planning to have a baby right after the wedding. Pretty
Wow.
much. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We got our donor and everything.
That's so crazy. The
I
donor
know.
part is so crazy. We should talk about that because
let's do it.
I feel the same way. We were talking about this before we came on the podcast, but that you're having a hard time. Are you having a hard time with the thought that it won't be like completely?
No, I think she's been saying it a lot more than I am thinking about it, but I don't know, maybe it's because she's having the child
And
first.
carrying the
Yeah.
yeah.
So basically, like, Victoria had been expressing that she's just like sad that we can't just have each other's babies.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think that's a pretty
Yeah.
universal experience for
Yeah.
like a lot of lesbian couples.
It's like kept me up at night recently. I think also because we have finalized our official donor, so yes,
it's real now.
It's very real, and I just think
It is weird because, like, what if he comes out looking like exactly like him? But he's very
gorgeous.
handsome. Yeah.
But he's a
So-
hottie, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
but at the same time, I just kind of sit back and I'm. It's just a realization of this baby that I'm dying to have with the person that I love so much and so fiercely is not going to be half her,
Yeah.
and that is just hard like a hard pill for me to swallow because I look at her and I really want to create with her.
Yeah, I know.
Like this is when we're doing the deed and I'm like, hey man, I wish.
Can you just get her pregnant? Jeez.
I mean, I've been trying.
Figure it
for
out.
6 years.
I've been saying it.
We practice all the time.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Nothing's happening.
Is that a
working.
universal lesbian thing? Like
We are
being like,
so
I want to get you
annoyed.
pregnant.
I think. I mean, that's a kink in general. Breeding is a kink.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
Oh,
ours is
that's what
that
they
far.
definitely
That
have
seems
on that
like-
documentary we were talking
I don't
about.
think ours is that
It's all,
far.
no, like lesbians have that kink too, where they're literally like, I'm gonna like put my
like that.
babies in you.
Yeah.
right now.
Okay. I don't think we have that.
We
kink.
do it like more as like a joke.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not,
that's
like,
more
for
like
real.
conversational,
Yeah,
not
like-
kink.
yeah.
Yeah, not a kink. I don't think that gets us going.
I
It's stressful.
Yeah.
I
I don't
think
have that kink either.
what I think about more
Mm-hmm.
for us specifically is like we are going to have like 2 different donors.
Mm.
So we picked our donor for her this time, and then when I'm gonna carry as well, and we're gonna have a different donor.
Mm-hmm.
So I think about our kids not being like
Exactly, half sibling.
Yeah.
they're like not
Yeah.
they're like not blood related at all.
Yeah, true.
But
I
I mean,
mean,
at the end of the day, it's
yeah.
family is family, you know.
Yeah,
like,
of
it
course.
doesn't
I mean,
matter.
as
It's not gonna
someone
affect-
who's had like step siblings who
Yeah.
are literally not related to me,
That's how I feel, too.
Family is family.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't change anything.
Exactly.
I also think for me, I get what she's saying. I think the reason why that part doesn't stress me out is one, coming from 8 siblings. All of my siblings aren't blood related. One is
Yeah.
adopted. Some are
Totally.
half. One is actually a cousin.
Yeah, the sibling to sibling relationship is its
Doesn't
own
matter.
like
Yeah.
thing completely.
And we've never like you said, like a stepsister. Like you're not differentiating. You're just like,
Yeah,
that's my
you're like,
sister
"That's
or
my
whatever,
sister."
you know?
For sure. Like that relationship would be different than how you guys feel. But are you going to do reciprocal IVF or are you going to just do IVF? Or do you know?
Just IVF.
Yeah, just IVF.
IVF.
Well,
and not IUI. You're going to do IVF.
I know we're going to start with IUI.
Okay.
I always get them. I get them like flip flops.
Me too.
So
I just be
can't-
talking.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
forgetting.
IUI is like
IUI
you
is what
just
we're going to do. What we're going to
inseminate
start
and
with.
just like put it in.
Yes, that's
IVF,
what
you
you're
take
gonna
the
do.
egg out.
That's what she's leaning
Starting
towards
with.
again. Yeah.
and if it doesn't work, IVF.
Yeah. It's so expensive. Sperm is so expensive.
It's insane.
God, and guys are just out here spreading it like nothing.
Like,
Come on
they
now.
don't
We have to
care.
pay this much as
They
lesbians.
don't care.
She's with it because that's what I complain about all the time. Not only
Yeah.
are they with it, they're doing it till they're like 100.
Yeah, literally.
Can we put a limit on that? Like there should be an
No.
age limit.
No,
man.
and
You
then
shouldn't be
we have
able to be 90 and have an 18-year-old and you come on.
I feel like my life is a movie every day too. I feel very similarly about that. Especially, I feel like the careers that we have are so uniquely awesome that we get to like do what we do. That yeah, I
Very
definitely am
blessed.
very appreciative all the time that I am here rather than where I could have ended up because I have a
love
finance
that you view
degree.
it like that though.
Yeah, oh my God, you have to. Also, like, I think a lot of people take for granted how, like, I'm not saying it's an easy job, but like there is a lot of ease to this job, and then we have a lot of things that
Preaching to
are-
the choir.
Yeah, there are.
I hate my biggest pet peeve is I'm scrolling and I see someone with any complaint. I don't care how hard this job is to some people. I will never sit and complain about it because at the end of the day, not only has it put me in a position to be financially stable as a person who literally grew up in the projects, like the hood of Miami, to be able to have a house, be able to afford her ring, to be able to financially go as lesbians, we can financially afford a child, which
Yeah.
you know, damn
It's
bitch, you got to be in your
crazy.
bag to be able to do that
It's-
as
yeah.
a lesbian.
It's crazy.
It's a blessing and it's a privilege.
Totally, both for
Yeah.
sure.
And you have your own schedule, and it's just like people look at it and they forget, like people do it and they forget, like, this is such a privilege. You're not in an office. You're your own boss. You can wake up and film whatever you want.
Totally. No,
Your own
and-
ideas.
I mean, and no one's saying not to complain. Like every job has things to complain about, but I complain to Lindsay. I'm not going to complain online to
Exactly.
the people who are working
Oh my
9 to
God.
Are
5.
giving you what?
Yeah, who
yes.
also are the only reason you can do
You are
what you
doing,
do.
exactly.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? I'm not going to
Yes.
complain to these people who
No,
I'm just grateful to have. Like, thank you for being on this
Yeah,
platform with me.
literally.
Like, are you crazy? Are you crazy?
no, it's so out of touch.
Yes.
The only thing I think struggle with at all with the internet stuff is just having so much feedback all the time, and just being
Preaching
like
to this choir right here.
yeah, just like being we're people
Yeah.
at the end of the day too. So it's like I don't think that we have evolved as human beings to be able to take as much criticism as
The
you
internet
are.
will
Like,
give you,
yeah.
yes, at times.
And it's like you also have to accept it because you're like, the blessing and the privilege, I'm with all of that. And then you're like, okay, I am in a way asking for this. But like at the end of the day, you're also still a person. So you read a mean comment and you're like, oh my God, I will think about that for maybe the rest of my life.
Probably.
Maybe the rest.
See, I'm very much so like there. She doesn't care, and I'm glad.
No,
that
I do care.
Well,
I mean, it's different, but I do care.
Yeah. It's just like I don't understand hateful comments for no reason. Like, send it to your friends. Like, I get everybody has an opinion or whatever, but like Kiki in your group text, not like you
literally.
Have to, like.
No, but have you ever left a mean comment on anything ever in your life?
Never my entire life.
Me either. So whenever I think about it, like if I like really think about it, I'm just like, okay, they're going through something. They're going through their own thing, and like I'll be okay. But people are ruthless. People are also ruthless. Like I talk about this a lot because I started on YouTube, and on YouTube you would get comments, and I would get mean comments and stuff, but it wasn't like attached to an account most of the time. It would be like, you go to their page and it's like they've never uploaded a video in their life, right? With TikTok, it's so fucking weird that I can go to this like hateful comment. Most of the time, they're also like have never uploaded anything because they're like
Still scared.
can't stand by what they're actually saying. But sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like this is you. That's your mom. You go to college here. Like you're a actualized human being that just commented the most savage thing. Yes. I'm like, you're a real fucking person and you're talking about me like that. And then also like people who fully make content and videos, and I'm like listening to them talk about me. I'm like, holy shit. Like,
oh my God.
Say it to my face, but I'm like, you are saying it to my face. It's crazy.
A lot of like, you're just like being seen by so many people.
It's just not normal.
Yeah, because as we all know, nobody would actually say that in real life.
No one would ever say any of the shit that they said.
Well, Lindsay actually just experienced something like that.
I really did.
This week.
What happened?
So, like, a while ago, it was just like, it was on Twitter, and there was a video, and this girl had said something that, it was a blatant, just like out of nowhere, a lie. Like, I can't really get behind her because she was so mean to girls in college, basically. And I'm like,
I can't picture you
and
being
it kind of
mean.
started like, I really want to like them, but I can't. Like,
because Lindsay
as if she like really wants to like us.
To, like, out me as like a horrible, like she
as a
literally
racist,
said, like, disgusting. Yeah,
actually, she was like, I met her at Rush, and she was really awful towards me as a black woman. Like, she kind of did that, and I was like,
disgusting. And I was like, I literally, like, I just know that this is not
it's not true.
Yeah.
It's based on nothing.
So then, fast forward the other day when we were boarding our plane here, a girl like
literally
says
to come
hi.
to LA.
Yeah, a girl says hi to me in the bathroom, and I'm like, hey, and she was like, yeah, I went to Georgia State with you, and blah blah blah, and I was like, oh my God, nice to see you again. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, I think that was the girl that
You're
said,
fucking kidding.
I swear.
I
went back and I looked, and I was like, I literally was like, I'm gonna go find the tweet, and I found it, and
it was
her. I'm like, why?
And she came to me right after, and she told me, I was like, point that bitch out. I don't play. Because not she here in person. How are you gonna say switch it up like that? Where you're trying to, you're trying to band people together.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, that's what it was like. Oh, like this is gonna.
Because
take
then
off
also people asked for examples on her tweet, and it was like, well, I don't want to say.
Yeah.
But you kind of started.
So that was like the perfect example of like, wow, I really just saw that happen. People aren't really like that.
No, and you can't take it to heart because you know that it's like, it's just not based in reality.
But it's like, why?
Often. No, literally, why?
Why?
Stop that, y'all.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
no, I don't ever. I barely ever look at the camera.
I was like, oh shit.
I've been like sometimes like.
Yeah. But you're also in the middle, so you kind of
like
probably have. You're like ping ponging back and forth between us.
Has there? Okay, so were we allowed to ask you questions?
Yeah, of course. Ask me questions.
What's like the? Wait, now
Literally,
I wish that I had so many fucking questions.
We need to
and
make
now
our own podcast.
I just thought we were supposed to.
Shannon as the one guest ever.
I thought we were supposed to just wait for her to ask a question. So I was just waiting, and I like had questions to ask.
Oh my God, ask me anything.
No, nothing crazy.
I wanted to
forgot
be.
Them.
You didn't forget.
No, it was like as things were happening.
Yeah.
But like for instance, in this conversation, what do you feel like is a negative comment or a video someone's made about you that really has stuck with you? That people don't realize, like, it's really stuck with you and you think about it.
Oh my God. Well, people, well, this is the bad thing is like I almost don't want to say it because then I'm like gonna let them
Yeah,
know
like...
what the thing is. But I think one of my biggest insecurities is that my teeth are not straight, and that is something that people will like.
What?
It doesn't happen that often.
See, that's how you know people are like, that is so crazy.
Because we in your face and
People
they're
are
not
like,
even.
oh my god, and then whenever I read it, I'm like, oh my god, they know, and I'm like, what? Of course they know. I can see it's my mouth. But it's like stupid shit like that, like stupid stuff like that. I think also obviously the worst ones are when people come for your character.
Yeah.
And also I think since starting my podcast, I'm talking so much, right?
Yeah.
I have 25 episodes out right now.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's
and if you think about it, each one is like at least an hour of conversation. 25 hours. You could spend a whole 25 hours with me. And like there'll be times where I misspeak or I say something wrong.
Yeah.
But like telling my own stories, not like saying like I haven't said anything like I don't think like problematic, but like I've made mistakes or said something like, oh, I'll just say one of the things I've seen was that I was like, oh, in my last relationship, and then I talked about my relationship 2 relationships before, but that's because I was in a conversation and I meant to say that's like the last relationship I was talking about. Like in the conversation, it was just like a random mistake. Yeah.
But then it's like a
and then on
slippery
Twitter,
slope.
people took it and were like, oh my God, Shannon doesn't even pretend like her last girlfriend exists. And I'm like, y'all are fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
When they make like a whole story.
Yes. And I'm like, it was literally a mistake. In 25 hours of me talking, I'm gonna make a mistake.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna
exactly.
say something wrong.
Yeah.
So I think I just think this is also like just so much more. I feel so much more exposed from my podcast than I did ever from YouTube, ever from TikTok. It's so much less.
It's like talking.
Sharing.
You're talking and you're like, that's what, we were talking about being on the podcast, and I was like, oh my gosh, but it's like vulnerable because with our content, like it's not like we heavily edit it, but you edit it or whatever, and you just whatever.
And it's shorter.
Yeah, it's shorter.
In general, it's shorter. The rise of the TikToker in general. I know you guys do YouTube too, but like the TikToker is so interesting because you can I know very little about a lot of people I follow on TikTok that I really like. Like I'll be like someone recently told me that Brittany Broski is from where I'm from in Texas.
Oh, really?
Didn't even know that.
Oh,
like,
I'm from New York.
Yeah, I don't know where anyone is from.
I didn't know you were from Texas.
I know,
either.
like it's so easy to not know, especially if you follow.
Real fans in the building.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you. Respect.
Yeah, I know.
But no, like it's so easy on TikTok because it's so short form that you're like, what do I really know about you? Like I know only these snippets versus.
But I also feel like it's like pivoting from there now because brands are wanting people that they're like personable. So now the like vlogs are popping where you're like literally talking more to the camera about like directly instead
TikTok
of like
has changed
voiceovers
so much.
It's like YouTube now.
Yeah. I feel like Alex Earl has gotten a lot of like negative feedback, but I do think one thing that she did is she changed TikTok a little bit with her story times of like right around that time. I don't know if she invented it. I don't think she did. But around the same time, that's like all of the TikToks turned into that. Don't you feel?
Story times?
I will say, I also think, you know how our TikTok timelines are so curated to like what we see?
Yeah.
She has
my
story
TikTok
time after story time after story time, and she's always.
So I will say this: my TikTok is
I
like
never even
my
get Alex
Twitter.
Earl's
Yeah,
content because my content is gay.
Okay. But
Keep
like,
scrolling gay.
I explain my TikTok is like my Twitter because when I'm on Twitter, I'm on Black Twitter. No matter how I go about my Twitter, I end up on Black Twitter. It doesn't matter. My TikTok is very similar. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, my TikTok is very hood. Like, I'm getting a lot. Like, like all I get is story times.
Yeah.
So if I scroll, like, I could not find a trend if my life depended on it. I just have to do something.
She's like, let me find like a trend or whatever so we can make a video. And I'm like, babe, weren't you supposed to be looking for something for us to do?
Because my TikTok,
like,
that's just it. But that's also the culture.
Yeah.
And so the funny thing is that not now, but just not saying you or anything.
No.
But like I have also seen a lot of people kind of say that, and I think it's interesting because that's not true. But because a white person is doing it, it's become this thing of look at this thing she's championed when she hasn't.
No.
I follow so many Black creators that have been doing story times, even while doing their makeup or doing their hair.
Fair.
Or on a wash day, like their hair wash day, and I'm like, that wasn't anything new. She just happened to be white, rich, looked pretty, and it took off. No hate to Alex Girl, you're doing your thing.
She is like,
but
she
that's
monetized
just
off
that's
of
just
it.
No,
that
yeah.
was my
You know what I'm
perspective
saying?
of that
No,
entire
totally.
that takeoff.
First of all, I think black people invented everything. So we've
You're
got
not
wrong.
everything we are copying everything.
Literally.
That was just like at the same time of her rise was the rise. Like you watch like trends. Same thing. People like I don't know if you guys know about this, but YouTube had like a similar thing where it like completely changed the algorithm. First of all, YouTube changes their algorithm and they don't tell YouTubers. So it just something happens and you're like, what the
You
fuck?
have to figure it out.
So gamers changed YouTube. Like the rise of PewDiePie and all these gamers because they were posting 10 videos. Okay, before that, it was comedy. Was like the big thing on YouTube. I'm talking like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like Smosh. You guys remember?
No.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. Like more like skits and like funny comedy videos.
Yes.
Those channels were posting like maybe 2 videos a week and they were about like 2 minutes long. So YouTube was like, that was the content that they were putting a lot of money behind and like the algorithm was pushing. Okay, then they realized that gamers were making at least 10 videos a week that were about like 30 minutes to an hour long. So YouTube changed.
Were
the
they
whole-
like streams?
No, just them playing like live. They
my
play
gosh.
gameplay. I don't fucking know. I don't watch the game. I don't watch them. But they didn't tell anyone that they did this, but they changed the algorithm to push content based off duration. So how long people watched it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Okay.
weird, like all these platforms kind of do these things and then they don't tell the content creators. And it's
Yes.
crazy because like also on TikTok, remember when it seemed like they were really pushing photos, carousels?
Yes.
And they were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except they were like flat out telling you.
Yeah, they would tell
Yeah,
you
they were
that.
like emailing you like post a photo carousel and we'll try to push
TikTok
it
is
out.
better about that than YouTube ever has been.
Did you see that they did that with the wide format videos?
Yes.
I could not catch on to it.
Oh my god, I did one. Just
couldn't catch on to
they literally were like, we're pushing wide
I
videos.
did
I was
it.
like,
No,
I had
they
to do
did.
it.
They did. The video
I'm like,
would have
alright.
like 100,000 views.
yeah.
But I couldn't do it. I was like, what the fuck
No,
are we
it
doing?
looks bad. I don't
why
wanna
is
do
this,
it.
there this black
I don't want to.
space?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it literally, it's not aesthetic.
Yeah,
No.
it doesn't fit the vibe.
No. Okay. Can we talk about sex a little bit?
Sure.
My
If she's
segues.
comfortable.
Yeah, I am.
My segues are insane.
You don't have segues. Let's just put it out there.
By the way,
I don't know how this cut is gonna be, but
No,
if she starts talking about sex, it's just we're just as surprised as you are.
I don't cut it. It just happens. I do cut a little bit, but yeah, I do a little. No, I have really bad ADHD, and I'm not kidding. That's like my brain is like, and now I'm ready to talk about
Yeah.
this.
I want to talk
Jumping,
about sex.
jumping right
Talk
to
about
it.
sex. Let's talk about sex, baby.
Okay,
Let's talk
please,
about
thank you.
and me. That's how you need to
you.
segue into sex. Put a little pretty Ricky.
Shout out again to Hinge for sponsoring this episode of X's and O's. I love you guys. Thank you so much. If you're looking for the love of your life, you should definitely download the app that's meant to be deleted. Going hand in hand with the slowmance, LGBTQ plus daters are looking for low pressure dates. A low pressure date is just a date with a relaxed environment where you can get to know someone better and gauge if you actually want to pursue that person. 34% of queer people said that a coffee shop would be the number one place they would go on a date. 21% said a bar and 20% said a restaurant. I think I personally prefer a bar date as a first date. Mostly because I don't like eating in front of people that I just met. I get nervous. I'm like, when am I supposed to take a bite of food? When I'm talking or when you're talking? And then what if you finish talking and I'm supposed to start talking, but I have food in my mouth? See, I can't deal with that. So a bar or a coffee shop would be ideal. But I also prefer a date at night for a first date. So bar environment makes sense for me. What about y'all? You guys know I talk about this a lot, trying to find the balance of being a public person and being in a relationship and how much of that you're sharing. I know my connection to that may be like a little unique, but I think in 2024, with so many people using social media, a lot of us are having to actually think more about how we're incorporating the people we're dating into our public lives and our public profiles. 77% of LGBTQIA plus daters said they'd like to have a conversation with their romantic partner before they start posting anything on social media. That makes sense to me. I'm actually surprised it's not 100%. But 48% of the daters also said they prefer a soft launch. So subtly releasing photos and videos of the person that they're dating over time rather than just like hard launch, here is my girlfriend. But believe it or not, lesbians are 2.2 times more likely to hard launch than the other queer daters. Is anyone surprised by that? Because I'm not. If you guys want to learn more about queer dating, you should check out the date report. The link is in my bio. Go find the love of your life, y'all. Let me know when you do. And maybe I'll let you know when I do. If I decide to soft hard launch. Any day now. Let's talk about sex.
Ooh, let's
we
be
don't have to get
comfortable
too
for real.
crazy. But
Never have I ever.
you guys said before we started filming, you're more into tribbing than anything else.
What the? This is crazy. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's good to talk about because I do
Yes,
think
I
there
know.
is a bad rumor going around
About
that
us?
lesbians don't scissor. Like,
Scissor,
I saw that was-
I don't
yeah,
like the
you had
scissor
asked.
term.
sorry,
Scissor,
I mean-
lesbians don't trib.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's different. I do think it's different.
are people actually scissoring?
That's the question.
I don't think they're scissoring. We don't scissor.
Do you scissor?
What do you guys do?
Shannon
How do you
scissor?
define
I think
scissor?
Well,
is
okay,
scissor.
yeah.
'Cause,
Like,
I've seen
coochie on
lesbians
cooch.
actually say
Yeah,
they're
I've
going
done
like,
that.
they're doing this. It's
I've done
scissoring.
that for sure.
It hurt. Does
This
it hurt?
position?
Yeah, I've done that.
Oh my god.
Laying,
what
but
position?
laying,
Scissoring.
like laying down. You've never done that?
Maybe a couple times. Like,
We've
in
like
the
tried
apartment.
it, but it kind of hurts.
I could see. Yeah, I'm not doing it that often.
It
I have to
wasn't like
say.
enjoy. I wasn't like, oh yeah.
Yeah, we were like,
yeah.
all right, next position.
Yeah.
I feel like the only reason, not the only reason, the reason I do it sometimes is like, you know, when you're like hooking up with someone, you're just like, I want to be as close to you as possible.
Yes.
And so you have this moment of like, and that will make me feel that way.
And that is our entire sex life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to be as close as possible to
Yeah.
each other.
So that's what that works for us.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's real, y'all, by the way.
It's,
it's
real.
real.
It's real. Yeah.
if you're doing it right, it's real.
It's real.
'Cause
And like
yeah.
we don't personally, like we told you before, but like penetration isn't like we don't really
Bread and
like-
butter.
We
Yeah,
don't use dildos ever.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
So when y'all say things in our comments about,
shut up. I don't
I'm
think
gonna say it.
Okay, go.
I know the white one is putting her through the bed.
Oh,
She's not.
my God, they say that?
At least not with a dildo.
No.
She kind of is though.
It's so funny
Fuck
reading
yeah.
those comments. I'm like, okay, whatever.
It's kind of crazy
But,
though. Lots of assumptions.
yeah.
A lot based on her style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that you,
Very much.
Very
you
heavily
must
based on her
obviously
style.
be the top.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Putting her through the mattress.
That's crazy.
It's like based in just what their idea of
Yeah.
because they expect her to be the man. People assume that her style means that she's taking on this masculine role in the bed, which I don't really know what that means. That's what I get confused. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah, totally. I mean, there is no. It's like the whole thing is like there's not a man in
Yeah.
the bed. So
It's
I
like
don't know what
so
it
hard for
means.
people to like people who are very like, ignorant and out of the community. Like we see it a lot on Instagram Reels. I mean, Reels and YouTube Shorts.
YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, that
YouTube
makes
Shorts.
sense.
Oh
They
my
are
God.
like people are
Disgusting.
really ignorant, and they're like they can't just fathom that there's two like people are gay. When
Yeah,
Mm.
they look at me, they're like, "Is that a man?" Like, but it looks like a girl. I'm like,
literally, what the hell?
know.
Yours-
We
Your
probably have
hair
thousands
down-
of comments in the last 2 weeks
there's so-
about
I'm
her
like,
being a
you-
man.
You can't just assume that it's two. It's two girls. Like, look at it.
It's just like so
Look at us.
heteronormative, and I
Yes.
feel like YouTube is just so backwards. Like it's behind the times, especially.
Very
I just don't
much.
think their algorithm is set up, and back to the algorithm. But I don't think it's set up to actually like create a For You page the way
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
like TikTok and Reels even have like
It's set up
curated
like
it
Facebook.
better.
Yeah.
It's set up like Facebook.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing, so everything just gets pushed to like everyone, and so
Also,
your
our
content
YouTube is really based in Russia, which has not been great for our comment section.
I
We're
can
getting a lot of
imagine.
Russian comments, literally in Russian, and they absolutely don't
You
want to see
translate them?
us.
You
Oh
translate
yeah, I
them?
click translate.
I'm like, I'm not reading that. I don't know.
So
I'm
I
just going to
normally
best
like
case scenario.
Yeah.
You don't even have to translate. Don't read it. Just be like, thank you for the engagement.
Yeah.
I have
I
no
like-
idea what you said.
generally try to comment back to everybody. So I'm always going through our comments and I click translate, and sometimes it is a couple of Russians going, beautiful couple, and I go, thank you. And then you click translate and it goes, abhorrent, sin, going to hell. Which one is the man? Which one is the girl?
We've heard it all
Their
before.
hairstyles need to switch. They believe that I should have the hair and you should be bald because they think she's a man. And then I'm like, I'll say something like okay, like one guy goes, disgusting. I said, oh my God, can't believe we wore the same color pants in that video. You're absolutely right. Heart.
She's like, guess what I've commented
you.
back?
I know.
They were
Lately,
like,
my
"Good
new
job,
thing,
babe. You tell them.
my new thing has been to comment hate with something that's so positive that you just look stupid to whoever else is reading it.
That's smart.
Like-
also smart of you to like go through and read and comment back to
She
everyone.
does.
That's really
She's very
kind
good
of
at
you.
that, yeah.
Well, I think it's so important because I never want to feel like I'm too far from you to be able to
You're, like,
communicate.
Building an actual community of people.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're like
my DMs, I read every DM. Like, we don't have any unread DMs.
that's crazy.
And I comment pretty much. If you DM me, you know we've talked. And yeah.
Okay, you're awesome.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I love
Yeah.
meeting new people.
Yeah, it's fun.
You guys are okay. This is
Do you
the sweetest
not?
couple.
Do you not?
I do read a lot of DMs, but there are a lot of heavy DMs that I get that I'm like,
yeah. It's
I
not-
think
We
if
get
I were to
those.
do it all the time, it would really take a toll on my own mental health. If I
We
was
get
like
those.
constantly like, it's a lot of like, and I read them and I appreciate them, but I'm like, if I give as much as I want to give to every person, there would be
You could
nothing
never
left for
do.
like the people in my real life or
Yeah.
me in my own real life, you
Right.
know?
And I
so
think
it's a
that's
balancing act.
balance. And I agree. And I think to some extent, depending on what it is, I like to be honest. And I think that's also what makes it scary opening those DMs. Like, I can see why the avoidance would matter. So in that situation, I would just be like, I'm just like, hey, honestly, I don't know anything about that. Or I'd say like,
It's very honest. Like, sorry, I can't help you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're gonna get a response, but it might not be the one you want.
like, I'll get a really long something about the relationship that's really personal, really deep, or really layered in something complex or like traumatic, and I'll go, I'm very sorry that that's happening to you, but also reach out to a therapist in your area,
Yeah.
because
so nice.
I'm not able to give you any advice, because everything that you're seeing online, this is just our own experience, and we're not perfect.
Yeah.
We're
so
not
true.
perfect. Like,
Yeah.
I say it all the time, we are not perfect. We are working with each other all the time.
Yeah. How do you guys navigate being a public couple? Because I've obviously done it, and
Yeah.
it can be really tough because you get a lot of both positive and negative feedback. Is that hard for y'all, or how do you deal with it?
I think like when we first started, I was really scared because I probably said something about like you and your like first relationships. Like, I was watching couples like on YouTube, and obviously they all broke up, but like that's
That's scary.
Yeah.
It does intimidate you in a way of,
Yeah.
is it because, like, is it almost a curse?
Exactly. But like if
Like,
you think
getting a
about
tattoo of her name, am I going to be cursed because we're on YouTube now?
Yeah.
right. But like if you think about it, like they were gonna break up whether or not they were on YouTube or not.
Yes. By the way, yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Confirmation.
Yeah. Don't worry.
So yeah, I mean, I was like really, really, really nervous like about it. But like we said, she was just posting videos and they were just like doing their thing. So, but I don't know. Now I feel a lot more comfortable with it. I feel like the community that we have built, we center it around a lot of positivity. Like, if it's like a hateful comment for no reason from like people in our community, like, well, we don't ever engage, or like we'll just delete it. You
Yeah.
know, like, so when you like people feed off of each other too.
Oh my God, yeah.
So
And also, they want you to respond. By the
they
way,
do, yeah, they want
So-
you to respond. So I'm grateful for the community that we have built.
I agree.
You know, so
Even like meeting them in public, we're very
Yeah.
blessed for the types of people that come up to us.
Oh,
Yes,
totally.
yes.
I agree completely. And I don't know if it's just like a queer thing too, but like I definitely feel like the people I meet are always like the kindest, sweetest, and like
sweet.
the stories, like the things that they want. I think it's like the reason we're connecting is based in something that's so like beautiful, because it's just like,
Yes.
oh my God, I don't have this from
Yeah.
anyone else, and you were it or you are it. And it's like,
yes.
it's really hard to turn that sour, I feel. I mean, people will do it.
It's
but-
like meeting a gay person anywhere. Like, if you
Yeah.
meet them at
Yeah,
work,
you're like, hey,
how
yeah.
did you come out? Oh,
Yeah.
it was traumatic. Oh my God. And then we
Yeah.
all get along.
Totally.
Same.
Well, we always have like, we are like soul tied to each other. I
Yes.
feel like queer people, which is like
Community.
the best thing ever. Because like you could meet someone you have nothing in common with. If
But-
you're both gay, you are literally like, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
definitely
Let's
have
talk about
something.
dating. Let's talk
I
about
know we
this.
could
Let's
talk about-
kiki.
yeah,
We even have our own
exactly.
language
Yeah.
that we start to like turn it into.
Yes, I love
Totally.
that.
A connection forever. I
Do
love
you
it.
I have a question? Do you know, like, how does it feel to be Shannon Beveridge?
Ooh, good
Like,
question.
do you like understand? Like, okay, because we're talking about people coming up and meeting us and everything, and people tell us how much we have like really impacted them or like the community, and I'm like, I cannot wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
No, I think you can't. I think it's impossible to fully like actually understand. I remember when I hit like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, whenever that was, and someone told me how big that was, like of a stadium. They like compared it to a stadium thing to me, and I was like, I just can't even. I can't even accept that information.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I have to hear it and then just be like, surely not though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just think your brain can't like believe it. I definitely think I did something, and I'm just super happy and proud that I did whatever I did, and I want to keep doing it as long as I can.
Yeah.
But like, as far as like, do I like sit in my room and think like, God, you changed lives.
Like, look at what you've done.
Look at what you've done.
Like Thanos when he has like the rings. Like,
Yeah.
look at what I've done.
I'm like, no, I can't. I don't think I could. I don't think my like soul could handle that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like happy. I'm so happy for what I've had and like done and the experiences I've had. But yeah, I don't like when people give me compliments like that too.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's so nice. But like, I'll go on. I've been doing a lot more stuff now on camera and like going on podcasts and stuff, and people will be like, you were like the original lesbian, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
You were the first lesbian.
First of all, no.
Ever.
First of all, it was definitely a black woman, and she was awesome.
Probably,
It for sure wasn't me. But then at the same time, I'm like, this is so nice, but like, I can't. I just like can't. I feel like I even like feel like I almost like want to reject it as like a concept of like people being like, you are like lesbian, and I'm like, I'm definitely a lesbian.
But I mean, it's something to be proud of, because also at the end of the day, your like resume has so much positivity around it. Also, like, it's not like this thing that came with baggage. Like when you say who you are, no one's going, ooh. Or like someone like, you know, someone's not cringing.
No, they're just going, that girl goes through a lot of breakups.
No.
And that's why I have this podcast.
I don't think so. Like,
I didn't think about that.
I don't think
Okay,
about
good.
that at all.
By the way.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
like, I don't see that at all.
I think the comment section sometimes
we matter.
sometimes
Yeah,
skewers
matter.
reality.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh
I
my
think.
God, for sure.
The comment section will skew, like, is I'm saying, what the fuck, skew?
Skew.
Skew.
Yep.
I didn't even
Should
know.
never use that word. I couldn't say it. It skews it because, damn, I don't want to say it. It makes it feel like it's reality.
Yeah.
Because like you said, that other comment that really stuck with you is something that's based in
Yeah.
your
My
relationships,
own,
your
yeah.
exes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it probably makes you feel like a lot of people are thinking about that, but we're not. And
Yeah.
that's everyday life. Like things that you think someone's going to care about, no one gives a fuck. They're like,
Totally.
okay.
Yeah.
We all date people and break up, not us.
Oh my God. Not y'all. You
Y'all have fun out there in them streets.
You better fucking not.
Not us.
You
but
guys made me believe
we
in
get
love,
it.
so-
We get it.
Yeah. No, it is crazy. I think, I don't know. I'm happy that you guys are doing the same thing though too. It's cool. It is really cool when I've met people who are like, oh, I followed you, and then now they do it too. And I'm like, that is really fucking awesome that like,
It's crazy.
it's like a weave, like we're all helping each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Ellen DeGeneres. You really started it all. I'm kidding.
Is that like ground zero for
No,
lesbians?
I don't know why she gets brought up. I feel bad for her. I just said this the other day to JoJo Siwa. I'm like, gosh, she kind of got a bad rep. Because every time you hear people talking about her too, they're like, and the only representation I had was Ellen.
I don't think about Ellen at all.
Yeah,
I don't.
fair.
Yeah,
Think about her for 1 second.
Yeah.
I just feel like she was like, she just like was like came out so publicly, it went so terrible, and then she dressed in a way that most lesbians are not like. Most young lesbians were looking at Ellen in her little suit jacket, being like, one day that's gonna be me. Even though it probably will be all of us one day, you know?
Isn't that
it's probably
crazy?
gonna be me one day.
We all evolve into an Ellen.
Eventually, we all will die in a blazer.
gosh.
At some point. Not you, for sure, not you. You're gonna look great.
Yeah,
And you're not going to wear either.
Yeah, you can help her, and then you guys can also make sure I don't do that
got
either.
you.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode so much. Please follow them on all of their socials. I'll have it all linked below. Do you guys have anything that they should look out for? Anything coming? Your wedding?
Yeah, our wedding in October. Anything else specific?
The baby after, and that's pretty much it.
Their wedding, their baby. Keep an eye out. I'll have all their socials below, and you guys should check it out. Watch their TikToks. They're so good. God, there was so much. There's more stuff I want to tell you about and ask you about, like your
We can talk after
neighbors and
this.
stuff. Yeah, but we can. Not everything is for y'all. I'm sorry.
Period.
Okay, love you.
Okay.